Beyond the text, Islamic practical theology. When we think of theology, we often imagine ancient manuscripts, rigid laws, and abstract debates about the nature of the divine. However, Dr. Nazila Isgandarova encourages looking elsewhere, into the hospital room, the counseling office, and the lived reality of the marginalized. Drawing on her work, particularly her insights into Islamic practical theology, Lays explore how this discipline is not just a study of what Muslims believe, but a vital exploration of how those beliefs function as tools for healing, justice, and psychological resilience in the 21st century. The shift from theory to practice. Isgandarova argues that for too long, Islamic studies remained text-centric. Traditional theology, or kalam, focused on defending the faith. While valuable, it often seems to miss putting the person or people at the center of the task, or seeing humans as a living human document. Practical theology in Islam, as Isgandarova defines it, is an attempt to address what the traditional kalam failed to do, to serve as a bridge between the Quran's universal principles and human struggle to make sense of ordinary life and broader aspects of life. It asks a critical question, such as, how does the Word of God manifest in the suffering of a patient or the grief of a family? This shift is revolutionary because it puts the patient or client and the Muslim practitioner, the chaplain or therapist, at the center of the scene, who must interpret the faith in real time to provide spiritual care. The clinical encounter and cultural competency. A central pillar of Isgandarova's work is the intersection of Islamic tradition with modern psychotherapy and clinical pastoral education, CPE. She highlights that being a practical theologian means understanding that a Muslim's mental health is often inseparable from their spiritual worldview. She emphasizes that Islamic practical theology must be contextual. It isn't a one-size-fits-all set of rituals. Instead, it involves deep listening. For example, when a patient faces a terminal illness, a practical theologian doesn't just recite verses. They explore the patient's concepts of qadar, predestination, and sabr, patience, to ensure these concepts are being used for empowerment rather than falling into fatalism or despair. Social justice and the marginalized. Islamic practical theology is inherently a liberation theology. Being inspired by the Quran and the prophetic example, Isgandarova notes that Islamic practical theology must address systemic issues like domestic violence, Islamophobia, and gender inequality. She argues that the practitioner's role is to advocate for the vulnerable. By using an Islamic framework to challenge oppressive interpretations of the faith, practical theology becomes a mechanism for social change. It validates the experiences of those who have been silenced, ensuring that the practice of faith leads to the restoration of human dignity. To conclude, Dr. Nazila Isgandarova's vision of Islamic practical theology is one of faith in action. It is a discipline that is constantly in the making, evolving alongside the community's needs. It reminds us that the ultimate goal of theology is not merely to understand the world or human being, but to heal it. Whether you are a healthcare provider, a community leader, or a student of faith, the takeaway is clear. Our spiritual traditions are most powerful when they are lived, felt, and applied to the messy, beautiful reality of the human experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel.